We're going to take a breath right now and go straight across to Y.M. Deosthally, Chairman of the CII National Committee on NBFCs, that's non-banking finance companies. He's also Chairman and Managing Director at L&T Finance Holdings Limited. Mr. Deosthally, always a pleasure to have you here on NDTV Profit. As we wind down 2015 and look ahead into 2016, which year do you think is going to deliver stronger growth?
From a point of view of investment in the economy, I don't expect it to be substantially better. The situation may slightly improve, but investment-led demand is not going to be significantly better in the next year. And there are reasons for that. The first reason is that I don't expect any big-ticket infrastructure projects being developed by private sector. Because first of all, there are not many projects. And the second thing is that the capacity of private sector to participate and put in equity is currently limited. So the entire thrust will have to be from the government, and government is taking steps. They are now announcing road projects. Some contracts have been awarded. Also railways, some projects have been announced. So the thrust has to be for government to spend. Private sector in infrastructure will be limited. As far as the other area of investment is concerned, that is commodities largely. There is excess supply world over. Prices are very subdued, and therefore we don't expect any major expansion plans being announced by any of the players in the Indian market. So these two major areas, if the investments are not going to come, we don't expect any big ticket investment projects getting announced. On the consumption side, let me complete only one sentence. There is currently some problem in the rural markets, thanks to the problems in the because of drought in some states. The demand is subdued, which is expected to pick up. So I think on the consumption side, I don't think it will last beyond the next few months. Hopefully, last quarter will be better, and the next year should be better than the current year. So overall, on balance, I would say the growth will more or less remain at the same level in the next year.
So I just want to pick up a point that you just made out there about the, sort of sluggish demand sentiment in rural India. Now, how big a risk do you think that poses to growth in 2016? The rural factor, the rural piece of the puzzle.
See, whatever had to happen has already happened now. So going forward, I expect that it will be some sort of a recovery. So I think next quarter, that is January-March quarter, and the subsequent quarters should be better than the previous quarter. This has been a very bad period because of very severe drought situation in some of the states. And plus, I think some of the industries are also cyclical. And the cyclical slowdown was also witnessed in the 15-16 fiscal. But that should change in the next year. So I believe that next year should be better from a consumption perspective.
So I want to turn your attention to another area which of course you follow closely. That's the non-performing assets in the banking system, in the financial system. There's been a lot of discussion about it in recent weeks. The central bank, the financial system, even the media. How much of a weight could this be, or a dampener on the outlook for 2016?
Well, NPA is a part of the business. Currently, these industries are going through stress. So, I think we'll have to find some solution. More importantly, I think the prices have to improve. But if you see today, the prices are extremely subdued. Steel prices are very low. All the commodities are at very low ebb. So, there has to be some improvement in the prices for these industries to come out. I think till that time, these industries as well as these companies need to survive, and we have to make sure that they remain afloat and stabilize over the next 12 months of time. Yes, there is a problem currently, which has, in my opinion, this is an extraordinary situation, and we need extraordinary solutions for these kind of situations.
So I'm going to stick with the banking system, the financial system. You've got the new base rate norms for banks. How does that play out in terms of advantages for NBFCs as banks become slightly less competitive?
You see, NBFCs are already competing with the banks. So this is not a new situation. And rate wars go on. However, NBFCs need to make sure that we have to make sure that we are we continue to maintain the competitive edge. Rate is only one part of the overall competitiveness. You need to know your customers, your costs have to be managed well, your ability to manage the liability side and raising resources has to be extremely good. So there are several factors. There is last mile connectivity. So long as you maintain this and the customer is understands you well and you constantly innovate, you should be able to retain the customer with you. Rate is one of the considerations. Yes, of course, we'll have to adjust the rates depending on the market situation.
Sir, do you think transmission will be better now with the new base rate norms?
I think the transmission should improve with the change. In the next few months, we will see the rates as far as the customer is concerned coming down. So that is what the Reserve Bank of India is trying to do, so that the transmission becomes faster and better.
So I'm going to come back to the growth story, to the potential drivers for growth in 2016, but away from rural, which we've already discussed exhaustively, to the urban markets where consumption has been pretty strong. Do you think in 2016 that trend will continue?
Yeah, urban markets are doing okay. I don't think that there is any issue right now as far as urban markets are concerned, and that consumption story will continue to do. But I think the demand over the last 1 or 2 years was driven also by the rural markets, and the problem is currently over there. So that I think is going to continue at least for 1 or 2 months, but hopefully March quarter will be better, and I expect the next year will to be certainly better.
Crisscrossing here, because you have your finger on the pulse of many pieces of the Indian economy. There are a lot of infrastructure assets that are up for sale. Do you see investment demand being fairly strong, especially in those assets which are up and running?
It depends on the pricing at what these asset sales are happening. Yes, there are players who are willing to buy, but it may be necessary for existing developers to take some haircut, and they also need to make sure that in the longer interest of those organizations, asset sale is important. So if they stick to their expectations and if they want some fancy returns, then asset sales may not happen. I think there has to be a realization that in the given situation it is better to reduce debt and not focus too much on returns, and make sure that your leverage comes down. In the process, somebody else who is buying the asset, if he is able to make better use of that asset, that will be good. So I think all will depend on the expectations of the current developers, to what extent they are able to sacrifice returns.
Sir, in the infrastructure space at least, I mean, particularly sectors like road, railways, ports, where there's been a lot of discussion, especially from the government side. Do you expect investment in these spaces and these pockets of the economy to continue?
I can't comment on defense, but yes, there are some projects which have been announced in roads and railways. These projects have been recently announced. So as I said earlier, the investment has to be started by the government, and I think rightly they have been spending money, which is a very, very good thing, which is absolutely essential because the private sector developers do not have much capacity to invest. So considering this situation, some projects have been announced, some of them have to yet reach financial closure, and they all are good, but they are not necessarily very, very large projects. So it will help, but still I don't think that the overall investment-led growth will substantially improve in the immediate future.
Okay. Mr. Deosthali, we're going to leave it at that. You have a busy day. Appreciate your time and insights here on NDTV Profit. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
After the break, Kumar Rajagopalan, CEO of the Retailers Association of India.